Earthling draws back her bow, all the way back, past her face. It is a massive, simple bow of dark brown and black. She looks at you, eyes red embers, in her pitch-black helmet. Lazarus. It is a question, a consent. May she kill your champion, your friend. Die. And her fingers loosen the arrow, and there is no longer an arrow. It is death to the letter, a bolt of such speed and force that it simply is a black line. Before the noise of it loosed reaches your ears, it reaches its target. Who stands there, holding a black arrow, smoking, looking nearly as surprised as you. You stand, stunned, silent, staring at him, and him at you. You glance wide-eyed at your fellows who stare wide-eyed back. You stand there in pure stunned silence for over a minute. Then Rorschach's inky shadow flickers, congeal into a humanoid form, and he moves to attack. And all goes to hell. Rorschach moves first, but the Earthling reaches him first. Her bow abandoned, two swirling, symboled, curved, gleaming, glowing silver daggers held reverse in her hands. She lunges at him, a feline leap, but he bends backwards under her, kicking with his foot, kicking up a black ice axe into his hand, and he spins, dropping low, slashing her hamstring to the bone. In his spin, he grabs the other axe with his other hand and raises it, deflecting Mothman's falling talons with the blade. But it does not cut Mothman, for his flesh regenerates. As it cuts him, he clamps his claws around the bastard's hand, drawing blood. Then the bastard's black cat swells into a cougar and slams into Mothman. They both fall back, slashing and dodging Mothman with jerky, deadly bursts of movement, and Jewel with the full might of the familial playing back in her. The Earthling is rising, glowing white ichor bleeding from her lamed legs, ghostly flowers blooming in the drops of its pool, and Rorschach is upon the bastard, flickering fists, hammering his back as he turns, crouched, hands shielding his head, taking the force on his cloak of webs. But the force is not merely physical or magical, it is psychic, and Rorschach is ripping his mind to shreds. And then, there you are, Lezaroth, holding a long blade of silver with gold inlaid hilt, and you are whirling it at his exposed flesh. But he arcs his axe to intercept you with a flick, and your blade is cut off at the hilt. So be it then. You drop your hilt and draw a small piece of driftwood as the bastard turns to intercept a leaping Earthling, her wounds already healed. Her blades lock in an X with his axes above his head as he strains, snapping her blades and cutting bloodily her neck through her armor, an X of his own. She rolls back, healing as he completes his turn, shillelagh in his hand, held reverse grip as he slams it upward where Rorschach's head would be, and it connects, his skull shattering into a million black fractals. Then he arcs it back inward, severing him at the hip. Rorschach drops and begins to reform. Meanwhile, you stand holding your stick outstretched. So be it then, you had said, and your stick grows, elongating into an aspen staff, white bark with black eyes. It whirls in your hand, a blurring circle, and you slam it into either side of him, alternating cracks of machine gun shots. You are formidable and deadly, but of the gods you aren't much of a fighter. He blurs himself and blocks every blow. But you have bought enough time. There's a howl as Mothman somehow cripples the black cat. In a desperate bid, the bastard whips out the severed head of a rending howler and sends a beam of chaos scything from its mouth at the Earthling, who, now healed, rolls out of the way. but it is a two birds, one stone situation as it slams into Mothman behind her, who brushes it aside as if it was a measly beam of light. And then Rorschach is reformed and back on his feet. The bastard turns to deflect each of them, but he is lost. You stand behind him, staff held high. And as you swing, you with eyes eternal see a glove on his hand, in his right hand, one that appears to be the stretched skin of a dead man's hand, with a gleaming cat's eye inlaid in the center, Vecna's eye in hand. With them together, it is the only thing capable of making something truly invisible to even your eye. You look upon the new Lord of Secrets. So why use a measly illusionary ward? Unless... And then the hand flutters like a magician's hand during a card trick, and your staff connects with nothing. The bastard is gone. Your eyes gleam gold as you find him. The worst scenario, he stands upon his stool, his hands holding the crown of eyes above his head. You teleport to him as he drops it, arm reaching out to stop him, but it lands upon his brow. Boom. Everything pauses as reality bends itself. The sun arcs over the sky, the moon following faster and faster, blurring. The obelisk rises again, and then shatters into a single shard as day and night flicker by, the shard soaring upward and is struck from the sky by sky and earth with crackling black lightning as the tainted blade is forged. The bastard grabs it, and you are on the battlefield. He speaks. They say, a blade sings when it pierces a heart. A song of happiness, of victory, but is later remembered sad. So I ask you, gods, demons, and everything else, do you bleed the same tune? Because you sure as hell do not have a heart.